For 26 years, Spectrum has been advocating equality and justice for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. Like other LGBT community centers around the country, our presence ensures that hard-won fundamental rights and freedoms for LGBT people take root right here at home. It's a challenge to fully describe the work Spectrum does because so much of it is confidential. There are people who are still facing real threat of losing their families, friends, church communities, and more if they dare speak the truth about who they are. Spectrum is here to provide them with that space to speak that truth, perhaps for the first time. And we're also here to help the surrounding community overcome its fear and prejudice.
We're working with individuals and couples and families, and also doing a number of groups, offering also support to families who may have just had a loved one come out to them as something other than straight and are looking to understand better what their role is and how to support the person in their lives.
As a marriage family therapist intern at Spectrum, I see an ongoing need for specialized services for the LGBT community. Folks need a place that's safe and friendly to their issues.
Well, Spectrum's Family Camp is a weekend-long camp for gay and lesbian parents and their children. Many of the families come back each year, and this is part of their annual vacation activity. And it's really nice each year to see how the new families come and are really embraced. That's one of the things that I hear year after year is how welcoming the community is.
We just enjoyed being with other gay and lesbian parents and families that look like ours.
One of the most important programs that Spectrum has is the youth program. And on Thursday nights we have a group called Rainbow's End. The queer youth population has the highest incidence of suicide and self-harm, and so we definitely want to create a space where kids feel like they have someone to talk to. The Speakers Bureau is a program where we can go out into the community and have an opportunity to educate and talk to a live audience about what it means to be lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender.
My name is Jennifer Dolan and I've been teaching at TAM for 10 years, and Spectrum has been coming into my class since I started teaching here. The most valuable thing that Spectrum has given me is a way to bring issues out into the open. It has given me a framework to bring up differences that people might have, whether it's our sexuality or whether it's racism or religious difference or whatever it is. Spectrum has really shown me that bringing issues out into the open is the only way that we can break down the barriers and get the discussion going so that our society can move forward.
Spectrum has changed the climate here at Davidson Middle School by opening up a dialogue that most people are afraid to have. And as a result, there's an amazing growth that's happening with our staff and our students by having these dialogues. For me, Spectrum is family and love and acceptance and celebration and without Spectrum being in my life, I couldn't have done this work here at all, and it would have been really sad.
In all my years of working with LGBT seniors, I really haven't met very many people who haven't experienced the loss of family, of friends, of school, of housing, of a way to support themselves when their sexual orientation or gender was revealed.
We now have our very first meeting of LGBT seniors in Sonoma. Gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgendered older people are really isolated and not easily identified, and pretty much in the closet. I think one of the stories that comes to mind mostly is a man I met through the phone through my outreach work, who's in Petaluma, lives in an assisted living. And he said to me, 10 years ago, I heard conversations about creating assisted living only for LGBT people. And he said, I wondered why we would do that. Why wouldn't we all be together? And he said, now that I'm in that situation, I know the difference. So here's a man who said he lives in a place that's fairly decent, the food is okay, he's given up his car, he's really there, he can't get out, And he said, I have no one to talk to.
I first went and visited Virginia and Louise. They were in their upper 80s and 90s and had been together for over 50 years and were in the closet. They were never out to anyone. What they were asking for was a volunteer to come in once a month and take them out. Kristen was there for them in the later years of their lives, and she was also in a very moving, touching, and sensitive way there for Virginia and Louise in their deaths.
And initially I was asked to visit them maybe an hour, 2 hours a month. And within a few weeks I was seeing them several times a week and talking to them on the telephone. Virginia and Louise brought so much to my life as well as what I brought to their lives. Virginia and Louise are a perfect example in my mind of what gets lost when our seniors are isolated.
I love the opportunity to be of service to Spectrum. It all started for me many years ago when I met a young man who was about to commit suicide. He found Spectrum. Spectrum saved his life. It changed mine. I'm known as a straight ally to the Spectrum community. There's much to be done. I welcome you to join me.
It has been such an honor for us to do this work, but we can't do it alone. We depend on our friends and supporters, gay and straight alike, to stand with us in creating a thriving community that brings us all together.